The Beatles sang it, and it's become an anthem for living well. All you need is love. I would add great food, good wine, and wonderful people at your table. As we travel to Italy today, you'll see the embodiment of love in how we cook together, what we cook, and the feast at the end of the work. All you need is love, and that's what you'll get today on Christina Cooks, the Macroterranean Way.
Underwriting for Christina Cooks is provided by Suzanne Specialties, offering a full line of alternative vegan and organic sweeteners and toppings. Suzanne Specialties, sweetness, the way Mother Nature intended. Jonathan's Spoons, individually handcrafted from cherry wood, each designed with your hand and purpose in mind. Additional funding is also provided by
Hi, I'm Christina Perello, and this is Christina Cooks, where each week we take fresh seasonal ingredients and whip them into amazing dishes. Will they all be plant-based? Yeah. Will they all be delicious? Yeah. When I was growing up, cooking was love. That's it. If we had a bad day, we got food. If we had a good day, we had food. If we failed the course, we got food. If there was death in the family, there was food. If there was a graduation, there was food. If there was a birthday, there was food. Get the idea? Food. For us as an Italian family, and I'm sure many cultures feel this way, but Italian's what I know, there was always food. Food was life. Food was how we communicated. We sat at the table. We learned social justice. We learned how to share. We learned how to not lick your brother's fork so he would actually eat dinner. Oh, wait, sorry. I did learn that though. Anyway, so we're going to make a first dish today is a side dish, and it's Agri Dolce winter squash. And it's a lovely, simple dish that if you're cooking for people who may not be inclined to eat their veggies, this could solve your dilemma. These are golden raisins, and they're going into a saucepan. It's also really easy. It's like a one-pot dish. On top of the raisins goes some white wine, enough to cover the bottom of the pan. If wine is not your thing, you're not comfortable, use sparkling apple juice. We're going to add some apple cider vinegar. And we're just going to move the raisins around a little bit. And as soon as they boil in this mixture, then we can move on with the dish. Here we have some red onions. And the red onions are going to serve as like the base of the dish. So we're going to add a little extra virgin olive oil to our mix here, so that flavors the onions. And they're going to go right on top of our raisins. And you want nice thick wedges. Do you see how these are? These thick, sort of really hearty wedges. That's what we're looking for. A pinch of salt to get things going. And we're going to let this cook uncovered for a minute to get that sort of sulfury smell off the onions so they become sweet with the raisins. And then you've got the wine and the vinegar and you have your sweet and sour. These are winter squash. Squashes? Squash? Anyway, this is a butternut, very common. You can get them and use this in your dish. They're a little more boring than what I like to use, which is a kaboka. A kaboka is a green skin, orange inside, the sweetest winter squash you'll ever get your hands on. Don't peel it, right? The beauty of winter squash is that the skin becomes very soft as you cook it, and also prevents your squash dish from becoming squash puree. So we're going to cut it into pieces that are a little bigger than bite size because you want this to be a hearty stew. These go right on top of our simmering onions. It already smells amazing. In goes the squash. On top of that goes our toasted walnuts. Now, don't stir. I know your temptation is to stir. We love to stir. Don't stir. Because I want the raisins to stay on the bottom, developing their sweet and sour. I want the onions to become sweet and the squash to become sweet. So, don't touch it. Let it simmer for 25 minutes. And when you see the result, lose your mind. After 25 minutes, just look at this dish, right? All the liquid has sort of caramelized into a yummy sauce. And you've got the crunchy walnuts, the sweet squash, the sweet and sour raisins, the sweet onions. And this dish, when I put this dish on the table, all I can hear are the Beatles singing, "All You Need Is Love." Ciao amici, arrivo!
Cristina, ben
Giochino.
arrivata. Ciao Cristina.
I'm so happy to be here at Bosco de Medici to eat, drink, and cook.
Andiamo.
Andiamo. Okay, Margherita, now comes my favorite part of being here. What are we having today?
Ciro will start to pour the wine and we'll start
Grazie,
with
Ciro.
lava flava. So lava flava is a lacrima Christi. Everybody in the area knows about lacrima Christi and also the legend.
Okay.
Lacrima means tears, so tear of Jesus Christ.
Really?
Yes, and where he cried on those lands, the lacrima Christi just grow.
Wow.
This is the legend
I love
about
that.
it. Yeah. It's very clear, so light, and so mineral because of Mount Vesuvius, because of the volcano where soil
Yeah, you
is
really taste
very
it.
special.
Yeah.
You can taste it a lot.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, next.
Next one, we have Pompeii White, also very typical from here and starts with the Romans. So it's a very ancient wine. So the Capretone, the name of the grape inside. This one, Capretone. There's a legend about this type of grape. So people thought that the shape of the grape of the Capretone looked like the beard of a goat. Since goat in Italian is capra, that's why we have Capretone. It's a funny story about this name. As you can see, the color are completely different. This is darker, but because
It's
it
fuller.
has been, fuller. It has been staying also in the terracotta amphora. It's very special as
so
well.
this is one of the ones in
the
terracotta.
30% of the Capretone has been staying and fermenting in the terracotta. Then we have the Rosamundi. Perfect as well in summertime. Also Latin word Rosa Mundi, rose of the world, you can say. It's Aglianico. Aglianico is probably one of the most popular grape of our region, together with the Falanghina.
This is nice.
Yeah, it's very fruity.
Yeah.
You can also drink it for a kind of appetizer when you just
All
you
three
start
of
a
these are
dinner.
nice for summer weather, though, don't you think?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you have a party or something,
Of
then
all three.
Yeah, exactly.
Margherita, they are all delicious. It's hard for me to choose, but
Yeah.
if I had to, I'd say this one
The
is my
Pompeii
favorite,
White.
the Pompeii White.
I
Thank
love
you
it.
so much.
Thank
and,
you.
As soon as we have a little lunch, it's
Okay.
off to the kitchen.
I know.
Soon we cook.
Uè, Cristina!
Oh, Giochino!
It's time to go, dobbiamo andare a cucinare.
Ehi, a cucina!
Dai!
Andiamo! Ok, Giochino,
Come
we
stai?
need to make some food perché sono un po' inebriaco del
Ubriaca.
vino.
Tu se vuoi ti puoi appoggiare a me.
Sì, sì. I told Giochino I'm a little drunk from the wine tasting, so what are we making?
Ok, iniziamo subito e prepariamo lo spaghetto.
Ah, va bene.
E spaghetti è la pasta dell'amore, degli innamorati.
Ah,
Perché
this
tu
is
lo
the
puoi
pasta
mangiare
of
anche,
love.
lo puoi mangiare anche
Sì.
così.
Va bene.
E iniziamo con mettere la pasta a cuocere.
Ok.
Allora, in Italy the pasta we don't have to wait, perché tu si dice che la cucini a sentimento.
Sì.
With sentiment.
Yes. So you cook with feeling. You don't have to time pasta. You don't have to mess with it. No.
No.
Don't break the spaghetti. Let it go in the water.
Ok.
But if you notice, it's not a big pan of water for 2 pieces of spaghetti, right? Because if you do that, if you use too much water, The spaghetti tastes like water, not spaghetti. Va bene? Capisce?
Sì. Mettiamo il sale.
Always salt your pasta water, always.
Ok. E adesso iniziamo a fare la nostra salsa.
Okay.
Ok. Usiamo l'aglio.
Okay. Garlic.
Just crush.
Okay. Un po'.
Sì, tutto, esatto, così, brava.
So you just crush the garlic.
With the
Wrapper.
Yes.
Okay. My nonna
Olive
used to
oil.
say in its dress.
in camicia in Italia.
In its dress. See.
Yeah.
Meta.
Sì.
So what he's doing is cooking the garlic still in its paper so that the flavor is more mild, more sweet than chopping garlic and tons of garlic in the dish.
All the grandmother then live in Pompeii and all in Vesuvian areas. In the summertime,
Right.
we prepared the tomato
Okay.
for all the year
Okay.
and go in the camp to take off the pomodori from
Okay.
the tree, and after we cook it on the big pan and leave in
Put it in the jar.
Yes,
For
and
all
after
the
we
winter.
Yeah, okay. And all the year we use all the
That you had. So
Yes.
it always tastes like summer.
yes, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. When I was a little girl, quando ero ragazza, I didn't want to do this.
Why?
No. Because I wanted to be outside, fuori, playing.
Okay.
But I was little, so one day I spilled the tomato. And I thought, they'll kick me out. No, I had to clean and then do it. So, yeah, didn't work.
Smell.
Ma che profuma. Wow.
Ooh.
It smells like summertime.
Like summertime.
Smells like summertime. Tutto?
Oh, tutto, sì.
So you get a nice little sizzle from the hot oil. Wow, beautiful.
And in Italy, we usually leave this inside.
So when they can their tomatoes, they leave the peel on the tomato because it adds to the flavor and the nutrition
Yes,
as
of
well.
course.
Yeah? Do you keep the garlic?
I keep...
For a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Il pomodoro è pronto per il tempo di cottura della pasta.
Right.
Maybe 10 minutes.
Right. So everything's ready in less than 10 minutes because the tomatoes aren't raw, they're already cooked. My, it smells so good.
And put the basil. You can...
Whole or tear?
yes.
I wish I could create perfume that smells like basil, tomatoes, and garlic.
Mettere un po' di sale,
Okay?
non molto.
So he uses less salt in the gravy, as I do at home, because you've salted the pasta water, and you don't want a dish that's salty. You want a dish that's perfect.
Naturalmente we use to cook the pasta al dente.
Yes.
It's not too much cooked because...
It digests better.
yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
digests is better, yes.
As we've talked about before, it's best if you can find pasta from Gragnano because of the way they dry it still in ancient ways, and also because they use bronze dyes to produce the pasta, which was explained to me that this way the pasta dough doesn't get hot. So it stays cool, so you get the perfect pasta.
Now is the moment for
Fuori?
keep out the
Okay.
garlic. You smell?
See? Oh. Okay.
You see?
See? Oh my goodness.
I think it's better for wine tasting, eh?
Sì, sì, sì.
Stai meglio
Vai-
adesso.
Sì. Ah, wow.
Ed è importante che la pasta noi a metà cottura la inseriamo nel nostro sugo.
So he said it's important that you take your pasta right from the water into the pan perché, come si dice, starch. The
Sì.
starch helps to thicken the sauce and then you have a perfect dish. Va bene. Wow. Wow. Piatto.
Oh, ci vogliono ancora 2-3 minuti.
Okay?
3 minuti ancora.
And so you let the pasta finish in the gravy for a couple of minutes. So you take it out of the water while it's undercooked so that it has 2 or 3 minutes to finish and absorb the gravy into the
Esatto.
pasta.
È importante per fare un buono spaghetto.
If you want to make good spaghetti, this is how you do it. Ah. Beautiful. Bravo. Adesso.
Ok. Aggiungiamo un po' d'acqua per continuare a farla cuocere.
Okay, so Gioacchino just added some cooking water to the pasta to make the sauce thick and finish the cooking so that it sticks to the pasta. I'm so excited for this dish. I love pasta.
In Italy, we eat the pasta every day at
In
lunchtime.
Every day at lunch.
Every
Yes,
day,
see, us
every
too,
day.
lunchtime. You can eat pasta every day for lunch and be beautiful. Como Chickpea, Okay, a little more basil to finish because the basil we put in earlier is now cooked in. So now you want to add some fresh basil for flavor.
Molto molto semplice.
See, can I come and cook with you every day?
Yes, of
Tutti i
course.
giorni. So now he's going to add a little sort of line of oil, which actually pulls everything together and makes the pasta sauce completely smooth.
Pomodoro è importante perché quando tu finisci di mangiare lo spaghetto, poi col pane prendi tutto il pomodoro.
So he said the tomato sauce is really important that you have enough here because when you're done, then you take your bread and you wipe up the dish. So, Giochino, grazie.
Semplicissimo.
Io porto con me.
Va bene.
I'm taking this with me. Grazie,
Buon
Giochino.
appetito.
Grazie. Grazie. So now you see the perfect dish of spaghetti pomodoro. Romantico and perfect. I don't know what I love better about that vineyard. The wine, which is delicious from volcanic soil, or the people. I have so much fun when I'm with them. Talk about your chosen family. I get with them and they're my people. I just have so much fun. And speaking of people that you love, joining me today is my dear friend who is so mindful in everything he does. He's so serene. Dr. Rakesh Shah. Okay, maybe you could, I don't know, be mindful, Rakesh? Rakesh?
Hey, it's a pleasure
Hi,
to see you
nice
again.
to see you too. Did you hear how I said you were so mindful?
I'm always mindful.
Uh-huh, okay.
Of course, I was doing that as a little joke.
I know.
But yeah.
So we're going to make a dish. Dr. Rakesh Shah is a cardiologist from Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And he's joining me today. We're going to make a dish together, a lovely either starter course or side dish or light lunch. And you have the two enviable jobs
Ooh,
of
do tell.
toasting bread in this pan with some olive oil and braising these tomatoes in that skillet with olive oil with a little bit of salt. Please, a little bit of salt.
I love it.
Okay. Go ahead, my dear.
All right, so
So you're going to take some olive oil. I'll do your, and then you hit this with a brush.
is that turning on?
Yep, it's on. And you want low heat when you're toasting bread because
Yep.
you want low heat. This one you could put a medium heat. That's this one.
Okay. Oh, that's this one. Okay.
You do cook, right, Rakesh?
I do. But
my
I'm not used to your
goodness.
stove. You know?
Okay. Well, you know, if you
I'll
push
have to come in
someone,
and a
get a starter, a little more.
little more.
Mamma mia. Be generous. This is part of
All
the
right,
dish.
fine.
Okay, there we
There
go.
we go.
Now we're talking. So put these in here, and when I talk about braising the cherry tomatoes with a little bit of garlic and salt, what I want them to do is begin to wilt and wrinkle. It's going to happen very quickly because they're cherry tomatoes and they've been halved. And you can use the garlic raw in with your mashed chickpeas, but I'm not a huge fan of the flavor of raw garlic. I'm just not. So you can add a little bit of salt, and if you like, Rakesh, you could make the tomatoes a bit spicy.
Spicy's my middle
That's
name.
here. I know. You are definitely
What do we have
spicy.
here?
Just Italian chili spice.
All right.
Now, Rakesh, I'm going to start mashing chickpeas, but I would like you to talk. I talk about this all the time. And every now and then, I like when someone else talks about the thing I talk about all the time, which is the health benefits of these lovely beans we know as chickpeas or garbanzos. There's more to them than just protein and fiber.
That's true. I mean, chickpeas are amazing. I'm surprised that we don't just think of them as a superfood, honestly, in many instances. One cup gives you about 260, 270 calories, which is
That's
fantastic.
a lot of beans.
Well, that is a lot of beans, but it's also very filling. And there are studies which have shown, especially for people who are trying to lose weight or preventing weight gain,
Yeah.
that chickpeas can actually make you feel fuller because of the fiber content.
Even more than other beans.
Maybe even more than other beans, but
Wow.
at least some of the studies have shown that there's a sizable benefit.
Okay.
And in that instance, not only does it help you with the weight issues that people are
the
struggling
olive
with.
oil, dear?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Sorry. There you
No,
go.
the
the other one,
Yeah, the big one,
the big one.
the full one. Thanks. Go ahead.
But because of the fiber, you can also reduce your cholesterol numbers. So improve your bad cholesterol, which is the LDL. That's the one that has 2 L's in it. You want that to be low. HDL has an H in it. That's the one that you want high.
Right.
And so to help some of these ratios improve, you can actually use chickpeas to help you.
So we're going to add a little bit of white miso to these mashed chickpeas, Rakesh. This is going to give us a cheesy Parmigiano type finish. And I know I added a pinch of salt, but the miso's going in there not so much for salt as much as it is for that kind of cheesy finish. And you don't want to puree these until they're smooth. You want to puree them just until, I struggle so much with electronic things. I mean, everybody that's here is sort of laughing or rolling their eyes because lame doesn't even begin to cover it. Now again, don't turn this into hummus. Once it's mixed, because you want them to be coarse, we're going to turn this into a mixing bowl and finish them there. As I lose chickpeas everywhere because it's one of these. I can never do, you know the thing where you hold the blade? I can't do that either. Okay. Go ahead.
I hope we're not.
No, you're good. They look great.
Good. Ooh, I love the smell here. The garlic, the spice, it's coming through pretty nicely.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to how this turns out. But the other benefits of chickpeas also, yes,
Falling down on the job.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
all right.
just
That's all right.
so engrossed with this chickpea conversation.
Keep going.
But no, besides giving you that fullness that you might be looking for, it's a great snack in the afternoon. The nice thing about chickpeas is their versatility. Not only can you use them as a flour to maybe bake cookies if you wanted to do so,
Right.
but you have other opportunities to make other types of dishes, or you can just have them roasted and raw, right? So there are
Roasted in the oven and crunchy. Yeah, we used to have them all the time at my grandmother's house.
Exactly. And so that's the beauty of chickpeas. They're quite versatile in a variety of different ways. And so you don't have to feel like you always have to eat hummus. But hummus makes for a great afternoon snack for people.
It does.
It's
With
easy.
some veggie sticks. It doesn't always have to be chips or...
Exactly.
And do you know this, my favorite kitchen trick?
What's
Do
that?
you guys know this? So you take your lemons and you freeze them.
Oh, yes. I
And then
that.
you just grate straight through the lemon, right through the pith, right into the flesh to get lovely lemon flavor.
Now, don't do this at home.
Don't do the what? Burn the bread? Yeah. Oh, use your fingers?
Use your fingers,
Yeah.
which I just did, which is
That's
fine
okay.
if
It's fine.
you're brave.
So now you've got these. Those are perfect. Okay. So if the
What do you wanna
pan's
do?
not hot, if it is, grab a hot pan underneath.
No, we're good.
Okay. They go right in here. Oh, they're blackened beautifully. Now you mix this in. How's our bread looking? And you see how the tomatoes are sort of smashing a little bit because you cooked them, and you won't have these big chunks of tomatoes, and it just really adds to the flavor of the dish. This is such a lovely, I put this out as a starter course when people first arrive at the house
And it's
for
so
dinner,
simple.
and it's so simple.
Took us, about 10 minutes to make?
Not even. So you can put that bread right on here.
I'm just going to let it toast a little bit more, but this will work.
Like that. There you go. One more. And then we just take the chickpeas, the puree, and you really mound it on top of the bread. This is a kind of a hearty starter course. I'm lucky you're the one that has to eat this, Rakesh, not me. You're the one that's going to bite in. And so they go all on the plate. And I'm a big garnisher, I got to let you know. Because not only does parsley help oxygenate the blood, which you can confirm, but it's going to add a lightness to a heavy protein dish that is it just finishes your dish. So don't be afraid to garnish and have a little fun with your food. So help yourself, Rakesh.
Thank you.
And so what are you waiting for? Let's get back to the cutting board, and I'll see you next time on Christina Cooks, the Macroterranean Way. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, right? Isn't that good?